All right, while we talk about what happened in the last 3 videos, let's play a game. This is the Soyuz 017 Fed, and this is the TLM-67. Soyuz 017 Fed, TLM-67. Now see if you can guess which mic this is.
You're listening to The Dangerous Mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov. No excuses, no BS, no pants.
The rules of the game are simple. I want you to listen really closely and tell me what mic you think this is. I'm going to disappear for a few moments, but I'll be back with the big reveal. Check it out. As we ponder the mysteries of the universe, given everything you've heard, which one do you prefer? Or do you prefer any of them? All things being equal, right? Which one do I keep? Well, before you ask, I'm keeping both. Because, the Soyuz and the Neumann, they're like Will Ferrell and John C. Reilly and Step Brothers, misunderstood little idiots. To separate them would be a crime. But when it comes down to it, they are both very nice mics capable of delivering more than adequate VO tracks. But adequate. Is adequate really good enough? Does adequate win as many jobs as extraordinary? And what makes extraordinary? Is it something intangible? Well, let me talk about that in a moment. But first, let's go through some pros and cons. All right? Simple. Capsules. If you go through and listen to parts 1, 2, and 3, you really couldn't say one capsule is better than the other. I mean, absolutely, the Soyuz sounds equivalent to the Neumann in sound capture quality. Both top-notch capsules, all right? What else? Could you cut one in for the other? Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Jason Birmingham just told me that this past week he had to replace 2 lines in a previous VO that was cut on the Soyuz. And because the TLM was hanging in his studio, he just used the TLM-67. And it worked perfectly. The Soyuz built like a tank. This thing weighs 2 pounds, brass frame. It's beautiful, right? The Neumann, not so much. The microphone itself weighs only about 1 pound. And the body, the body shell, does not feel like anything more than, aluminum. And really the head basket doesn't feel nearly as sturdy as the Soyuz does. And if you just go by pure aesthetics, I mean, come on. The Soyuz looks like it should be in the Guggenheim. And the Neumann looks like it should be in a recording studio. So yeah, if bling is your thing, then the Soyuz is probably what you're going to lean into. All right, the Neumann is multi-pattern. Soyuz, not so much. The Neumann is a tiny bit quieter and a little bit more sensitive. That's interesting because, in VO, it's a game of inches, and every inch that you can get is important. And then again, if you're talking about the insides of the microphones, right? Okay, worst case Ontario. If I had to get inside and change a component in the Soyuz, I could probably handle it. I mean, my hands would be shaking like a bomb disposal guy after 3 cups of espresso, but I think I could do it if that was my only option. The Neumann, I am fully confident that pretty much for at least the rest of my lifetime, I'll probably be able to get the Neumann serviced somewhere professionally, if need be. It might be a pain in the ass, but you know what? I could probably do it because there's no way I could get inside and change any of the surface mount components in there. All right, again, do you have an idea which mic I'm talking into? All right, so earlier I'd mentioned that there's something with the tangibles/intangibles of these microphones that may come into play. Let me explain. So, no matter how much work comes in, I make it a point to do auditions every day. Sometimes 2, 3, sometimes a bunch more. It keeps you sharp. And sometimes you hear about a new thing early that could potentially be a stock tip. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Now, I did all my auditions for 1 week with one microphone, one of these 2 microphones. And I didn't book any jobs. I didn't even shortlist any of them. And let's just say these are anomalous results. And then this past week, I did all my auditions with the other mic. And let's just say much more successful results. Jobs booked, money coming in. And while one result was below my usual average, it's really hard for me to believe how above average the second week-long test was. The mic that didn't do as well was the Soyuz. And I'm thinking, how could that be? How could that be? I didn't even shortlist anything. So I've been pondering this mystery of the universe. And I came to a conclusion that it's either because A, there's just something that clients and producers listen for that perhaps I don't understand, a certain sonic quality that I can't seem to identify. Maybe my ears, as the talent, are tuned into things that may not matter as much. Or B, none of it means fuck all. Irregardless, I know that's not a word, but I'm not getting rid of either of these two mics. You could throw me out on the street, and I would be clinging onto them like Steve Martin with his thermos in the jerk. All right, enough jibber jabber. Are you ready for the reveal? Do you want to know which mic you've been listening to? This one. This is the arrogant bastard. Yeah, it's one of mine. So, yeah, you'll be hearing more about this mic in the future. Let me know what you think. All right, leave a comment. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.